Hi guys, welcome to Oliveboard. A very warm welcome to the session of ESI MCQs where we are focusing upon if at all a question comes from your static part. PIB तो हम वैसे भी बहुत कुछ कर चुके हैं, but अगर static से कोई भी question आता है, so how you can ace it. But before moving any further, I just want to ask you if I'm audible and visible. So since my voice is clear, let's begin with the session first. First of all, I just want to tell you there is this 47% off that is going on all the regulatory body plans, be it RBI, NABARD, SEBI, IFSC, IRDI. So that depends. And one more thing, if you people are starting for the next year, that is 2025, this is the place that you can go to. So there will be a webinar that will be conducted on 20th of October at 4 p.m. If you want, you can join this webinar. It will be very helpful for you in your upcoming examinations. Just one thing I want to emphasize, just a minute. I want to emphasize is, one of you asked me about कौन सा data important है या फिर किस तरह से data you need to memorize. जैसे हमने economic survey पढ़ा था, अगर आपको याद हो, economic survey में सबसे पहले चीज that we read was like the share of agriculture कितना है 17.7%. इंडस्ट्री का शेयर कितना है इन द GVA ग्रॉस वैल्यू एडिशन में. एग्रीकल्चर का शेयर है 17.7%, इंडस्ट्री का शेयर है 27.6%, सर्विस सेक्टर का शेयर है 54.7%. दिस डेटा इज इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू मेमोराइज एंड यू हैव टू राइट व्हाइल यू विल बी अटेम्प्टिंग योर डिस्क्रिप्टिव आंसर राइटिंग. India's workforce is estimated to be 56.5 crores, out of which 45% they are in agriculture, 11.4% they are in core manufacturing sector, and 28.9% they are in service sector, 13% somewhat they are in construction sector. So this is all that you have to memorize. This is the kind of data which will be useful in your answer writing. इसके अलावा you can also go forward and see various quotes if at all you can remember. तो कुछ certain specific topics के across you just remember quotes as well. Now, if I ask you the next question, could you please tell me what could be the answer? Read the question. Tell me what could be the answer as per you. So the question is, which of the following does not represent a leakage from the circular flow of income and expenditure? We had discussed about leakages and injections in the last class. Last जो हमारा MCQ session था, उसमें we had discussed about this. So the correct answer is government purchases. They do not represent a part of leakage from the circular flow. अगर किसी को नहीं पता what is circular flow and all, I would say ESI का जो part 7 है, you please first go and see it. That will be very helpful. Next question. You have to choose the incorrect statement. These are the 5 statements. Read them and tell me what could be the answer. I'll give you 20 seconds. Okay, let's see what could be the answer then. Very good, Ashish. Niti Aayog was formed via a resolution of Union Cabinet on 1st of January 2015. This is correct. It's a statutory body? No, it's not a statutory body. What kind of body it is? It is executive body. What kind of approach it follows? It follows bottoms up approach. Niti Aayog acts as a platform to bring the states to act together in the national interest and thereby fosters a cooperative federalism kind of an attitude. Its chairperson, yes, the chairperson is your prime minister. So only option number B over here, that is incorrect. Rest all A, C and D, these are your correct options. Moving ahead. What is nominal GNP, gross national product? Tell me which of the following is correct. Gross national product, when I say, and that too nominal. So we all know there is real as well as nominal. These are the terms that we utilize. In this case scenario, real, it is at the constant prices. Nominal, it is at the current prices. So over here, what I am referring to is GNP at current prices. GNP less net factor income abroad, that is GNP minus NFIA. इससे हमें कुछ मिल सकता है? Very good. I am good, Kartikeya. You tell me the answer to this. If I subtract net factor income from abroad from GNP, gross national product, what will I get? Do I get something? Do I get something or not? Is it just like that? If you feel that the session is helpful for you, do hit the like button. Very good. So जब हम GNP से NFIA, net factor income from abroad, minus करते हैं, what do we get is, we get GDP. So this is what is your GDP. GNP at constant price, it is your real GNP. Real GNP, obviously that's what is there. वो अलग है, real GNP, nominal GNP अलग रहते हैं. This is the next question. Read it. Tell me what could be the answer. अगर आपको GNP से NNP जाना है तो we'll be talking about depreciation. So gross से depreciation minus करो, you will get net. अगर हमें market price से factor cost पे जाना है तो हम subtract करेंगे taxes को और हम add करेंगे subsidies को. So that's what the case is. Now this. If you remember, IRDAI has a vision. What is that vision? IRDAI has a vision that insurance for all. Kab tak? By which year IRDAI is having this thing of insurance for all? Tell me what could be the answer. Like which year this insurance for all actually are we targeting? Okay, option A, B, C, D, ठीक है. Insurance for all. When are we going to target? We are going to target it by 2047. So by 2047, the insurance IRDI, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, it has this target of having insurance for all. When I talk about Bima Sugam, what is Bima Sugam? So for insurance for all, it has come up with these three initiatives. Bima Sugam, it's a digital platform that will allow the customers to compare and purchase whatsoever product policies and product they want. On this platform, there is no application fees that is there. So ये free of cost है. Then if I talk about Bima Vahak, what is this Bima Vahak? It's an all-in-one product. तो एक bundle product है ये. उस एक bundle में you will get everything. आपको life insurance भी मिलेगा, health insurance, personal accident insurance और जितना भी insurance का आपको product जो कि required होता है, basic insurance services, that will be provided in one single bundle. ताकि people do not get confused as to which policy to buy. So Bima Vahak, sorry, it's not Bima Vahak, it's Bima Vistar. I'm really sorry. So it's Bima Vistar. And when I talk about Bima Vahak, Vahak basically means a vehicle. So Vahak, you can just relate it to vehicle. And then Vahak means that a women-centric distribution force that will be created to promote insurance product through home visits. So Bima Vahak mein kya karenge? Basically, they are going to take the help of self-help groups, the women who are working in that, and that's how they are going to help it out. I'm really very sorry. Vahak का women-centric distribution model है और विस्तार का all-in-one product है. So that's why option number 1 will be correct. I hope it's clear. Anything if you want to ask? Now this is the question. Tell me what could be the answer to this. India is not a member of which of the following international organization or the regional grouping? A and B. India is a member of East Asia Summit. All of the above? Okay. So Kartikeya is saying India is not a member of East Asia Summit. So see, in this East Asia Summit, there are 18 members. No. It's not the answer. Only option number A and B would be the answer. I'm really very sorry. When I talk about East Asia Summit, there are 10 ASEAN nations. 10 तो ASEAN nations है. In these 10 ASEAN nations, you have Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, and all those ASEAN East Asian nations. With this, you also have 8 dialogue partners. तो वो जो 8 है वो permanent members तो नहीं है. Definitely, they are just the dialogue partners. So the 8 dialogue partners, they are Australia, China, India, New Zealand, then Korea, Russia, and US. So these are the 8 dialogue partners which are there. But definitely East Asia में अगर participating countries देखें तो 18 है. But अगर हम बोले like dialogue partners कौन है, then definitely for in that there is India as well. Next is ASEAN. ASEAN में तो we know what are the 10 countries: Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Singapore, Indonesia, Laos, Philippines, Brunei, Vietnam, Malaysia. You please remember their name. This is the East Asian members. Next, according to United Nations, what is an urban agglomeration? According to United Nations, what is an urban agglomeration? What is it? Yes, India is a dialogue partner. Definitely. So, continuous urban spread consisting of a town and its adjoining urban outgrowths, or 2 or more physically contiguous town together, that's what is urban agglomeration. So, in India, if I give you an example, New Delhi plus NCR, this is your urban agglomeration, where the urban spread consists of the town which is adjoining it as well. So, क्योंकि area बढ़ गया, population expanded, and that's why we have even taken that Faridabad, Gurgaon, Noida into that NCR area. Next, which of the following criteria is not required for a place to be classified as census towns? इसमें से कौन सा criteria is not required? Okay. Before reading all these things, let's first see what is the census definition actually goes forward with this census town and statutory town. तो statutory town, any place with a municipal corporation, municipal council and a cantonment board. Census town क्या होते हैं? It is a place with urban characteristics. Urban characteristics मतलब ऐसे place जहाँ पे industrialization होगी, जहाँ पे population is more than 5,000. Population density is 400 people per square kilometers. And 75% of the population is not engaged in agriculture or other livelihood. So more than 75% of the population अगर agriculture में है तो इसको तो हम rural बोलेंगे ना. This is very simple. You please read all the statements because this was pretty simple. It was common sense. I would say reasoning question था ये. But I hope now you got it. तो सेंसस के हिसाब से दो तरह के टाउन्स हैं, एक आपके स्टैट्यूटरी हो गए, एक आपके सेंसस टाउन हो गए. इसके अलावा एज पर योर urban agglomeration, it is basically a continuous urban spread which consists of a town and its adjoining urban outgrowths or two or more physically contiguous towns together. For example, National Capital Territory of Delhi, it's an urban agglomerate that includes your Municipal Corporation of Delhi and New Delhi Municipal Council areas as well as 107 census towns, erstwhile surrounding villages that were there. Next, tell me the answer to this. Great. Which of the following measures the percentage of employed person in the population? So it's your worker population ratio. That's the number of people who are employed in a total population. That is your worker population ratio. Okay. When I say employed person divided by the labor force, then what is this like this ratio called? अगर मैं सिर्फ employed persons को लूँ divided by the labor force, what is this ratio called? This is your homework question. Search it and tell me in the comment section after the class. Next question. Which of the following was the first step, पहला step towards environmental concerns on the global agenda? Globally, when we actually recognized this environmental thing and all. सबसे पहले कौन सी कॉन्फ्रेंस या कौन सी समिट या कौन सा लाइक UNFCCC हुआ था, UNCED हुआ था, विच इज यूनाइटेड नेशंस कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑन डेजर्टिफिकेशन हुआ था, या फिर एनवायरमेंट काउंसिल हुआ था, यूनाइटेड नेशंस फ्रेमवर्क कन्वेंशन ऑन क्लाइमेट चेंज हुआ, स्टॉकहोम कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ, अर्थ समिट हुआ, या कुछ और ही हुआ था? Definitely. So remember one thing. In 1972, it was for the first time that we had these council where environmental concerns were being raised. That's the year 1972, where for the first time we focused upon sustainable development. तो यही पहला area था where we focused upon sustainable development and all. In 1987, thereon, we had this Brundtland Commission report, which highlighted our common future, and this was the first report which actually gave a definition to your sustainable development. After that, in 1992, we had this Rio de Janeiro, which is United Nations Conference on Human Environment, which is also known as Earth Summit. This was in 1992. Then in 1997, there was this Rio plus 5. After 5 years, Rio de Janeiro के 5 साल बाद, because it was happening, it was named as Rio plus 5, which happened to be in New York. Then after 10 years, that is Rio plus 10, you had a meeting in Johannesburg where we say it as a World Summit on Sustainable Development. So Earth Summit कब हुआ? 1992 में. World Summit कब हुआ? 2002 में. Then after that, Rio plus 20. That is United Nations Conference on the Human Environment. Again the Earth Summit, जिसको हम Rio plus 20 भी कहते हैं, that happened in 2012. But the first time where all the like major countries, they sat together and they discussed about the environment, that was in 1972, the Stockholm Conference. I hope it's clear. Anything if you want to ask. Yes, definitely. LFPR ki definition, which is given by Ashish, is wrong. You please need to go back and see what is the correct definition. I hope it's clear. Anything if you want to ask? Okay, then let's move ahead. This is the next question for you. Tell me what could be the answer. I'll give you time to think. This is a little bit into a deeper level. IMF से related बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो पढ़ के जाना एग्जाम में. They are very important, and this is one such thing. Tell me what could be the answer. Which of the following criteria has the highest weightage in IMF quota of countries? तो हर country का IMF में quota है, ऐसे Asian Development Bank में भी quota है. हर जगह quota देने का तरीका और certain parameters across which the quota is given, that is different. So when I talk about this weightage, tell me what could be the correct answer. Very good. Basically, quota का एक formula है where GDP is given the weightage of 50%, openness 30%, economic variability 15%, and the lowest quota is international reserve, which is 5%. इसको याद रखना है. GDP 50, openness 30, economic variability 15, and international reserve 5%. In the GDP category also, मतलब जब ये GDP कैलकुलेट करते हैं तो कौन सा लेते हैं? क्या ये मार्केट एक्सचेंज रेट वाला GDP लेते हैं या PPP मॉडल वाला, परचेजिंग पावर पैरिटी वाला? तो दोनों को ही कंसिडर करते हैं. In the market exchange rate, the weightage is 60%, and the purchasing power parity exchange rate, the weightage is 40%. So that's how your GDP is considered. I hope it's clear to you all. You need to remember this. This is very, very, very important. Yes, Mahima, दोनों को लेते हैं. We also take market exchange rate. We also take purchasing power parity. Market exchange rate को 60% weightage है, और purchasing power parity को 40% weightage is given. But then अगर GDP को पूरे कोटा के फॉर्मूला में वेटेज देखो सबसे ज्यादा है, दैट इज 50%. यू नीड टू रिमेंबर दिस. अ क्वेश्चन कैन ऑल्सो कम कि इस वेटेज में कितने पैरामीटर्स हैं. देयर आर 4 पैरामीटर्स दैट आर इन्वॉल्व्ड: जीडीपी, ओपननेस, इकोनॉमिक वेरिएबिलिटी एंड इंटरनेशनल रिजर्व. दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट. प्लीज ट्राई टू रिमेंबर दिस. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Okay. Base erosion and profit shifting, which is your BEPS. It's a multilateral convention to implement tax treaty related measures, which was framed by OECD. So when I talk about Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, it welcomed the commitment of 147 members of the inclusive framework on base erosion and profit shifting to keep working to resolve any remaining issue in the signing the process of multilateral convention. So they are working towards having this multilateral convention being signed. What is base erosion and profit shifting? That's what we need to read first. BEPS, it's an initiative again of OECD. It was approved later on by G20 nations as well. India is also has given an approval to this. It is basically providing a standardized tax rules globally ताकि हर जगह कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स सेम हो. वरना क्या होता है, क्योंकि इंडिया में कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स जनरली 22% है एज ऑफ नाउ द डे वी आर स्टैंडिंग ऑन. अब क्या होगा जब ये सेम कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स आप यूएई चले जाओ या सिंगापुर चले जाओ, व्हेन इट गोज टू एज लो एज 10%, या फिर वेव ऑफ भी है कई सारे टैक्स हेवंस में, तो सारी की सारी कंपनीज क्या करती है, इंडिया छोड़ के यहाँ चली जाती है. अब क्योंकि वो कंपनीज वहां रजिस्टर्ड है तो सारा टैक्स भी वहीं लेके चली जाती हैं, सारा प्रॉफिट पे टैक्स भी उनका वहीं कट रहा है. तो सारा बेनिफिट किसको मिल जाता है, उन सारे रीजन्स को जहां पे कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स कम है. So we need to bring to we need to have these proper tax rules, specifically when I talk about corporate tax payments, ताकि ये rationalized हो. ऐसा ना हो that companies are shifting towards the tax havens, जैसे आशीष has said Bahamas. तो ऐसे टैक्स हेवंस में कंपनीज को जाने से रोकने के लिए वी हैड दिस बेस इरोजन एंड प्रॉफिट शिफ्टिंग फ्रेमवर्क which was primarily bought by your Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD nations. Later on, yes, G20 nations also joined this bandwagon because it is a good kind of an initiative. When I talk about this inclusive framework, which talks about your base erosion and profit shifting, it was established by OECD, later on accepted by G20 in 2016. It unites 147 countries and jurisdictions to combat tax avoidance and to promote equitable tax practices across two pillars. There are two pillars. The first pillar is it addresses cross-border profit shifting by multinational and digital companies. It aims to ensure that these large enterprises they pay taxes where they generate profit. अब जैसे I'll just give you an example. एक particular company है which is generating maximum profit from India. एक डिजिटल कंपनी है, कोई डिजिटल सर्विस प्रोवाइड करती है, आई नॉट नेम द कंपनी, बट इसके पेरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या इसका हेड ऑफिस वो सब कोई इंडियन है, इसका सीईओ इंडियन है, वो इंडिया से ही शुरू किए थे, बट इंडिया में कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स इतना ज्यादा था कि दे मूव टू स्विट्जरलैंड. अब इनकी जो पूरी इनकम है उस पर टैक्स कहाँ लगता है? स्विट्जरलैंड में. काम कहाँ करते हैं? इंडिया में. मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट कहाँ अर्न कर रहे हैं? इंडिया में. Now this is ये तो जस्टिस नहीं है ना, बिकॉज अब प्रॉफिट इंडिया से वहां ले जाएंगे और वहां जाके टैक्स पे करेंगे. दिस इज नॉट गुड. इन दिस केस सिनेरियो देयर वाज दिस प्रिंसिपल दैट वाज अडॉप्टेड दैट ये जितने भी लार्ज एंटरप्राइजेस हैं दे हैव टू पे टैक्सेस वेयर दे जनरेट देयर मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट फ्रॉम. तो प्रॉफिट आप जहां से जनरेट कर रहे हो ओवर देयर यू हैव टू पे सर्टेन टैक्सेस, potentially relocating over $100 billion annually to the market of jurisdictions. सेकेंड पिलर क्या है? इट प्रपोजेस अ ग्लोबल मिनिमम कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स रेट. इट सेज कि किसी भी कंट्री का एक तो ये फ्री टैक्स रेट रिजीम नहीं होना चाहिए, सब कोई ग्लोबल मिनिमम टैक्स रेट फॉलो करे वेयर दे शुड हैव एटलीस्ट 15% ऑफ टैक्स बीइंग लेवाइड. It will be there to prevent harmful tax competition among countries. It will raise significant revenues where you will see कि जो revenue है of the developed and the developing countries, it is going to increase to $192 billion per year. So these are the two pillars that this BEPS, base erosion and profit shifting, is actually talking about. I hope it's clear. Anything if you want to ask? This is important because base erosion and profit shifting, you must know what are the two pillars which are involved. There can be a question. It remains in news. News में भी काफी time रहता है, so it's important. Anything if you want to ask? I hope so not. So this is, first of all, let's first see what is this global minimum tax then. If a question comes on global minimum tax, it says कि सभी countries 15% corporate tax लगा दे, so that we do not have this case of tax erosion and all. It will also, this GMT, global minimum tax, it will also lead to nations seek to curb profit shifting to low tax jurisdiction irrespective of where their actual sales occur. There's a growing trend of companies that move towards these, they move their income from intangibles like patents, software, IP royalties and all, thereby sidestepping the higher taxes in their home countries, and the G20 and the OECD will superhead crucial decisions towards having this GMT regime being there. As simple as that. सब countries 15% tax लगा दो ताकि जो कंपनीज है स्पेसिफिकली जो टैक्स हेवन में या लो टैक्स डोमेन में शिफ्ट होती है वो शिफ्ट ना हो. एज सिंपल एज दैट. दैट इज व्हाट द कोर मीनिंग इज. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. टेल मी व्हाट कुड बी द आंसर. दिस इज वेरी सिंपल. Prepare a short note on this BEPS as well. Base erosion and profit shifting पे एक short note prepare कर लेना, at least for 200-300 words. इतना काफी रहेगा. Please prepare it. And yes, this is the easiest question for the day. What type of unemployment occurs when the worker loses his or her current job and is in the process of finding a new one? So that's what you call it as frictional unemployment. So that's a kind of a temporary unemployment that is only there for a short period of time. Once a person gets another employment, he can then make his way out. This is your homework question. It's the 12th 5-year plan. It covered which period? So this is the period that is given to you. You have to tell me for which period was this 12th 5-year plan there for. I can just give you a hint that this was the last 5-year plan to be there. Next is, again I'm telling you, this is the orientation that will be there 2025 ke liye. It will be there on 20th of October 2024. It's free of cost on 4 p.m. You will get the link in the description box of this video. Otherwise, you can just ask me on the Telegram channel. I'll provide you over there. That's all from my side. If you feel that the session was helpful, do hit the like button. Iske alawa, if you have any questions from here on, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll wind up the session here itself. We'll meet again tomorrow and we'll discuss other portions. Anything else if you want to ask, please ask now. Okay then. Thank you. Have a nice day. All the very best for your exam and do prepare well. Don't get anxious. It's just 7 days from now. I hope you all succeed. Thank you. Have a nice day.